Hello kids, welcome back to Goglobalways YouTube channel. So in the last session, we have learned about the broadcast block. In this session, we will be learning about conditional statements. How can we use the conditional statements? How do they work? So we will be learning those things in this session. So let's switch on to our picto blocks. Okay, so in today's session, I will be teaching you the use of conditional statements, what are conditional statements and how to use them in your project. So starting from what are conditional statements. So conditions means like where we are limiting something, like if this thing will be happening, then this task should happen. So like if we are putting some condition in our program, so there we use these conditional statements. So before going on to the coding part, let's quickly set up our stage area. So today I will be using this Toby only. I will just add some backdrop. Let's choose one backdrop. Let's choose this blue sky one only. I will drag it over here. Yeah. So I hope you guys remember our first session in which we make our Toby walk on the screen. It was moving automatically and continuously on the screen. Now, what I want to do over here is when I click the left arrow key on my keyboard, it should move towards left side. And if I press the right arrow key on my keyboard, it should move towards the right hand side. Now see, here we are applying. I am giving some condition to my program. Okay, when I press the left arrow key, then it has to move towards left hand side. And when I will press the right arrow key, then it has to move towards right hand side. So whenever you experience such conditions, yeah, if you want to apply some conditions like this in your project, there we use the conditional statements in our project. So we will start with that when flag is clicked. So I will take when the flag is clicked. After that, go to the controls palette and add a forever block. Now comes the turn of conditional statement. Now the first conditional statement which I will be telling you is if then. Now add this if then block over here. Now the condition is if left arrow key is pressed. Now go to the sensing palette. Go to the sensing palette, and from the sensing palette, take the block key space is pressed. Key space is pressed. Now I will change this space key to left arrow key. Now see, now read the conditions. Now read the blocks once. It will be like when the flag is clicked, then that thing has to happen again. What thing has to happen again? Which thing has to happen again and again? If the left arrow key is pressed. Now, whenever we will be pressing the left arrow key, now it has to do something. What it has to do? It has to move left hand side. Now, if we want to move our sprite towards left hand side or in any direction, we will just go to the motion and we will take move 10 steps. Okay. Now, similarly, we will do for the right arrow key as well. Now again, go to the controls palette, take out this if then, and from the sensing palette, we will take key space is pressed and we will change it to right arrow key. Now we again have to move. Now again, we have to move it, but this time we want to move it towards right hand side. Now let's go to the motion palette and take out move 10 steps. Now let's try it, if it is working or not. First, click on the green flag. Now I will be pressing the right arrow key first. It's moving towards right hand side. Now I will press the left arrow key. Oh, it's still moving towards left hand side. On pressing the left hand side as well, it is moving toward right side. Why this thing is happening? Now see, we have done the code over here. If left arrow key is pressed, move 10 steps. And if right arrow key is pressed, again move 10 steps. So in both the cases, we are moving 10 steps and we are not defining the direction in which it has to move. So there is one thing which you have to keep in mind whenever you are doing such things. Whenever you have to move your sprite in left hand side, you have to add a minus sign over here. So it will be like move minus 10 steps. Now let's check it again. Press the green flag. Now if I will press the left arrow key, then it will move towards left side. And if I press the right arrow key, it will move towards right hand side. I hope this will be clear to you guys. Now, there is one more way to do this thing. I will just remove these blocks. Now come back to the control palette. In the control palette, we are having one more this conditional block. This is your if, then, else. Now what's the meaning of this conditional block? Let's do the code, then I will explain it to you guys. Now I will take from the sensing, if key space is pressed, we'll change space to left arrow key. If key left arrow is pressed, then go to the motion palette and move it minus 10 steps. Minus 10 steps. Now the condition is saying if the left arrow key will be pressed, then we have to move our sprite towards left hand side. Otherwise, just make it move towards right hand side. Now, otherwise, here will be you can press any other key, it will move towards right hand side. It can be right arrow key, it can be space key. Okay, let's try it. I'm clicking the green flag. Okay, now you don't have to click on any key. If you will not press the left key, it will keep on moving towards right. Otherwise, it will keep if you will not press the left arrow key, it will keep on moving towards right. See, I'm pressing the left arrow key, it's moving towards left arrow. Oh, sorry, left hand side. If I will leave the left arrow key, it will move towards right hand side. So this is the use of if else. We can use it in some other way also. Let's try it in some other way. Let's try to use if else in some other way. Now, how can we use the if else in another way? Let's remove these blocks first. Okay, so now what else we can do is, okay, yeah, put this if else block inside the forever block. Now I want to do is if the mouse will be clicked, let's bring our sprite back over here. Now I want to do is if I click on the sprite, if I click on the sprite or if I click the mouse, I want it to glide to a particular position. Otherwise, it can go to another position. Let's try that thing first. Now for that, you have to go to sensing again. Now here you can find this block if mouse down. If mouse down means when you click on the mouse. Okay. So what I want to do is if the mouse will be clicked, I want it to glide to a particular position. That can be any position. Like in my case, I am choosing this position here. So I will just change the values of X and Y. Here the values are 128 and minus 102. Let's type the values 128 and minus 102. If the mouse will be clicked, then it should glide to that position. Otherwise, it can glide to random position. Let's try it. It's gliding to random position. And if I'm clicking on the mouse, then it's coming to this position. I'm clicking on the mouse, coming back to this position. Otherwise, it's just gliding to the random position on my screen. I'm again clicking on the mouse. It has come to this position and gone back to a random position. So in this way, we can use these conditional statements, and there are many uses of these conditional blocks. Like if we are making a game where we want to code, like if the sprite will be touching the apple, like I'm making a catch the apple game. So if the sprite will touch the apple, then the score should get increased. Then the something if the fruit will touching the ground, then your game should get over. There we will be using these if then blocks, if then else blocks. So I hope this the use of these conditional statements and the meaning of these conditional blocks will be clear to you guys. So we will be meeting in another video with the new project, and we will be making a game using these conditional statements. So do like the video, subscribe to our channel. We will meet in the next video with a new project. See you guys.